BlackFacts.com presents BlackFacts Educational Series. Black Wall Street. The Tulsa Massacre Centenary, 1921 to 2021. Greenwood is a historic freedom colony in Tulsa, Oklahoma. As one of the most prominent concentrations of African American businesses in the United States during the early 20th century, it was popularly known as America's Black Wall Street. It was burned to the ground in the Tulsa Race Massacre, in which white residents massacred as many as 300 black residents, injuring hundreds more, and leaving 5,000 people homeless. The massacre was one of the most devastating massacres in the history of U.S. race relations, destroying the once thriving Greenwood community. The massacre. The Tulsa Race Massacre took place on May 31st and June 1st, 1921, when mobs of white residents, many of them by city officials, attacked black residents and businesses of the Greenwood district in Tulsa, Oklahoma, U.S. More than 800 people were admitted to hospitals, and as many as 6,000 black residents were interned in large facilities, many of them for several days. A 2001 State Commission examination of events was able to confirm 39 dead, 26 black and 13 white. The commission gave several estimates ranging from 75 to 300 dead. The massacre began during the Memorial Day weekend after 19-year-old Dick Rowland, a black shoe shiner, was accused of assaulting Sarah Page, the 17-year-old white elevator operator of the nearby Drexel building. He was taken into custody. After the arrest, rumors spread through the city that Rowland was to be lynched. The sheriff persuaded the group to leave the jail, assuring them that he had the situation under control. As the group was leaving the premises, a member of the mob of white men allegedly attempted to disarm one of the black men. A shot was fired, and then, according to the reports of the sheriff, all hell broke loose. White rioters rampaged through the black neighborhood that night and morning, killing men and burning and looting stores and homes. Around noon on June 1st, the Oklahoma National Guard imposed martial law, effectively ending the massacre. About 10,000 black people were left homeless. Background. In 1921, Oklahoma had a racially, socially, and politically tense atmosphere. Many servicemen had returned following the end of the First World War in 1918. Civil rights for African Americans were lacking, and the Ku Klux Klan was resurgent. Tulsa, as a booming oil city, supported a large number of affluent, educated and professional black people. The territory of northern Oklahoma had been established for the resettlement of Native Americans from the southeast, some of whom had owned slaves. Other areas had received many settlers from the south whose families had been slaveholders before the Civil War. Oklahoma was admitted as a state on November 16, 1907. The newly created state legislature passed racial segregation laws, commonly known as Jim Crow laws. The 1907 Oklahoma Constitution did not call for strict segregation. Still, the first law passed by the new legislature incorporating all the segregation restrictions. Tuesday, May 31st. The Tulsa Tribune broke the story in that afternoon's edition with the headline, "Nab Negro for Attacking Girl in an Elevator," describing the alleged incident. According to some witnesses, the same edition of the Tribune included an editorial warning of a potential lynching of Rowland, titled, "To Lynch Negro Tonight." Anxiety on Greenwood Avenue was rising. Many black armed residents worried about the safety of Rowland ventured toward the courthouse prepared to take necessary action to protect Rowland. White men interpreted these actions as a Negro uprising and became concerned. Eyewitnesses reported gunshots, presumably fired into the air, increasing in frequency during the evening. The gunshots triggered an almost immediate response, with both sides firing on the other. The first battle was said to last a few seconds. 10 whites and 2 black men lying dead or dying in the street. At around midnight, a small crowd of whites assembled outside the courthouse. They shouted in support of a lynching, but they did not rush the building and nothing happened. Wednesday, June 1st. At around 1 a.m., the white mob began setting fires, mainly in businesses on Commercial Archer Street. Throughout the night, both sides continued fighting, sometimes only sporadically. Numerous eyewitnesses described airplanes carrying white assailants, who fired rifles and dropped firebombs on buildings, homes, and fleeing families. Adjutant General Charles Barrett of the Oklahoma National Guard arrived by special train at about 9:15 a.m., with 109 troops from Oklahoma City. Barrett declared martial law at 11:49 a.m., and by noon the troops had managed to suppress most of the remaining violence. Aftermath. On June 1, 1921, the Tulsa Tribune reported a total of 176 dead. The number of deaths varies widely. The Red Cross mentioned wide-ranging external estimates of 55 to 300 dead. The commercial section of Greenwood was destroyed. The Tulsa Real Estate Exchange estimated property losses amounted to $1.5 million in real estate and $750,000 in personal property. In March 2001, each of the 118 known survivors of the riot still alive at the time, the youngest of whom was 85, was given a gold-plated medal bearing the state seal. Narrated by Timbuktu. To learn more about Black history, visit www.blackfacts.com.